Yeah, no, she acted in almost like 300 films. So I just don't understand. Actually, after Mahanati, I think I'm going to take like another 1 more year of break. So I don't understand how she's done 300 films. So that just fascinates me, like the kind of work she's done. That's why.
That's one scene which fascinated me so much when he was narrating it to me. She was a race car driver. She swims so well, and these are the things which surprised Vijaya Garu as well. Like I love driving, I love swimming, and she used to play cricket. I used to play cricket, and a lot of things matched between us, and all these fascinated me, and that very generous side of her. Like, see now, it's for us today, it's easy to help somebody when we have so much in hand, but for her, when she never had anything in hand to do, that kind of heart, I don't know how many people will have today. So that's probably something that I would take forward. So, and that was one scene particularly I was telling Nagi when we were shooting that scene where she's giving away the sari. I was so connected at that point. I felt so heavy. I just kept on telling him I'm not able, I just couldn't digest it. How can one, have that kind of a heart? So that was what she was, right?
Right. It's such a strong feminist statement, such a strong feminist film. She was such a strong feminist, and then there is that sort of beautiful love story as well, which is beautiful because she starts out resisting Gemini Ganesan, and then she falls for him. Tell me about that. I mean, how much more is there to the story? I mean, I would imagine you've condensed it to keep the major sort of touch points of the relationship.
I think we touched most of the relationship. But I mean, she had 2 decades, like almost 20 years of a great marriage. So there was a lot of good that happened. Like her daughter saw like the peak of both of their careers, and so there are definitely lots of incidents and stories we couldn't cover. But I think for the most part, we covered like everything. Just towards the end, like even after they had separated, there was no, it wasn't such a black and white separation. Like they used to come meet each other. Gemini used to take the kid to cricket matches.
Right.
So it was a different time.
It's there's that scene in the club or in the bar which is the heartbreaking scene where she's willing to even drink because if that's what it's going to take. Were these great moments to just enact and to kind of recreate?
Nagi was, he was like the book to us. Like he had so many things to talk about her. Like I don't have to get back to her biography and read it. I just have to ask him. Right? And so these were great moments. I mean, of course, not the drinking part where we're showing the that side, but still, like that was what taking the story to the next level.
Right.
So
Then there's that just incredible elephant scene, right, where they he's not sure he wants to do it, and she's sort of walks up on it. What that really leads me to is the actor casting Gemini Ganesan, because it really requires a very secure actor to agree to play that part. And I cover Bollywood, and I don't know if a lot of Bollywood actors would be secure enough to already play a supporting character to a leading lady, and then to play a man who's I mean, I don't think flawed is the right word, but a man who's clearly
little grey,
insecure,
Was that hard to cast that part? And Dulquer's great casting. What a great, genius casting.
It was really, I think like by the time we figured out our Savitri, it took us a while. And then when we had her, we realized it was actually harder to cast Gemini.
Right.
It took us a lot of, I'm a really bad narrator, but I narrated to so many people in this process and you're right, like it's very few actors are secure enough to do Gemini Ganesan. And Dulquer was surprisingly, the first time I told him, he enjoyed the idea.
Right.
Like he's one of the very few actors who enjoys the idea.
He sees the broader picture.
He sees the bigger picture. Very few people honestly
you're right.
see that. And he saw it, and then he had some issues with dates, and then it's completely up to Swapna, who managed to convince him, stalk him, find him, and convince him, and that's how we found our Gemini.
The minute Dulquer landed in the picture, the film became bigger. I mean, it became pan-India. And I mean, for someone of that level, who's a superstar already in his language, to come and do something secondary to the actress was brilliant. I mean, someone who understood the characters bigger than, just being a hero. I mean, that was brilliant. I mean, a big ode to him for doing this, yeah.
What was he like to work with?
He's very straightforward, and I should thank him first for taking up this role. I'm not sure if anybody else would do this, because a star like him to do a character like this, it's not just supporting; it has shades of grey. And like how you said, he had a very, he was very clear on what he was supposed to do. And and he's my family friend. Like my mom and his dad, they work together, and my dad and his dad, they work together. So we've been seeing like since we were kids. So I know him very well, and so happy that we got to work together through this movie.
And at one point of time, when we were releasing the series of videos on YouTube and stuff, so this bunch of Dulquer's fans like, what are you guys doing? Where's Dulquer? Where's Dulquer? Like, I'm telling Dulquer, we're under terrible pressure now. Now your fans, they're going to beat us up. He's like, no, you guys just do what you all have to do. What is important for the film is important for the film. Don't get under this pressure and stuff.
There's something called the DQ army.
Right. Yes. I have to say they're quite happy with me right now, because I just did an interview with him and I like his film as well. So they're on my side right now.
Yeah, some of his fans actually threatened our PR team for not putting out his pictures, right? So.
Right. I know we have more clips. If we could just keep one queued and we'll come to that. What was your research for this? Because when you're researching a public personality, someone who's been in the public spotlight for so long, a lot of it is legend, a lot of it is fact. What was the research? Is it an adaptation of a book specifically?
As far as Savitri Garu is concerned, she's like one of the very few actors, and for sure actresses, who are still loved and revered. So like even like today, even before the film, like every birthday of hers, there's a celebration in Vijayawada. She has statues, and so even today, that's very rare. So a lot of her, and there are 4 books in Telugu, there's one in English, and a few of her contemporaries are still around. So as far as information or research was concerned, it wasn't that hard. We had a lot of content. But like trying to adapt what happened in her real life, because what happens is like what really happened, only both of them know.
Right.
Like everything else is like, diluted over 30, 40 years. So,
right.
So that was something that was tricky. We just wanted to be honest to their characters, and half the time I was just thinking, I know this is the kind of person that she was. This is what people say happened. So how would this have happened? And you try to figure it out.
Also, I have to say, if there was a if a scene could have a name, I would call the scene awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, a man sitting there where his wife brings in the other 2 wives. Why was it cut out?
I let that shot run for a while, actually. So they ended up sitting for almost a minute till somebody said, Nagi, what are you doing? It was awkward.
Dulquer was finding it really awkward.
I can imagine. But it's also lovely because it's not awkward for her. She's actually the one who brings them together and, in a sense, unites the family, gets the daughters sort of to become friends.
Yeah. And like literally take them out for picnics and go to the extent of furnishing their house. And she went way above and beyond in a lot of instances. So I think, it was cut out because like there was a flow in the second half, which this is really nice, but at that point we felt it could be repetitive of just establishing her character again.
Right.
And it was about 3.5 minutes or something. So it went, and as soon as we released the deleted scene, it's got like 6 million hits, and people are like, why the hell did you
Right. I could be wrong, but is it true that when the film didn't the family sort of unite, the surviving daughters come to watch the film, or did that happen? I feel like
no, that they met a few times, but not for the film.
Not for the film. Okay. I feel like around that time people released some pictures. But were you surprised, all of you? Were you all surprised by the response to the film? It's been massive.
Yeah, for sure. I think the night before the release, there was a preview, And we
Yeah, so we were watching the. Were you there, Nagi? You were
yeah, I
not
was
there.
outside the preview and I
Yeah,
just
so
went
I
home.
was unfortunately inside, and we were not getting. I was not getting the kind of response which we had to get. Like I had my folks there. I had we had a lot of people. So
Yeah, most of them are families,
yeah,
so obviously they're
families
also
and,
probably a tensed for us. We don't know what it is.
Right.
where they're supposed to laugh, they're not laughing, and so that was like a. I was having like a little heart attack at that time, and the next day I think
We left Keerthy with all the elderly people.
and when I come out after the premiere, they are appreciating my performance. Okay, I was like, "How's the movie?"
Yeah.
And these people just ran away. They were not there.
Yeah.
And the next day morning, Swapna called
Yes,
me.
I'll have to tell the story. So we slept with whatever. It's just been 2 years of journey with super heavy heart and literally shitting bricks. Slept through the night, and we thought personally. I mean definitely. I think we've done a great attempt in paying the biggest tribute. Now we'll leave it on her and the God.
Right.
And then I slept at 6 o'clock in the morning. My phone rings a message that's from the US premieres. It just says it's a blockbuster. We're like, what is this? This is what I'm waking up to. I was, the hope was that we would wake up to, you guys made a great cinema. You guys
Correct.
made, this is good. But to a blockbuster, which is very commercial.
That's right.
I mean, to wake
And it
up.
doesn't feel like that traditionally what a traditional Telugu commercial film
Exactly.
is. Right.
To wake up to that was unbelievable. I had to just do my revision to check it was right or not, and then I had to wake up all those people to the same blockbuster. So yeah.
And since then, it's just been unending, hasn't it? The responses have been have been phenomenal.
It's the fourth month almost, and I can't
People are discovering
I can't
it.
understand.
Even.
Like sometimes when this happens, you kind of realize that you do your best, but then after a while, it has its own life.
Right.
And once I went to the theater, the first show, so Swapna called me up morning at 6 o'clock saying it's a blockbuster, and I still wasn't convinced. I went to the theater.
Check it out myself.
Yeah. I went to the theater and there was this title where it says Mahanati with its song, and the kind of applause I saw at the theater that time, I got goosebumps. Then I realized, okay, this is definitely going to work.
So that's something which is very interesting that I'd like to add something.
Yeah.
So, you talk about 3-tier cities, right? Like there are small places like a
Correct.
Mangalgiri or a Guntur. I mean, this 2-tier, 3-tier cities. Something like that, an overwhelming, response happens to a star hero for a title without even seeing a bit of a cinema.
Right.
So now that happens for this film on the first day without even watching the film. So that's Savitri Garu's stamina at the box office. Even after 40 years, if she can bring that on screen, it's a lot to do with her. Yeah.
How generous.
Actually, I need to add this. On the
Please.
first day, I told the Cube guys not to give shows to anybody because it's nice to watch it in the theater with a lot of people. So I told him, don't put shows, don't call me also. So he called me several times and I had to pick up the phone. Ma'am, this is a rare situation. Chief Minister of Telangana and Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, they both want to see picture. Can we please give them? I was like, please, just give it. So yeah. So this movie has changed our careers in a way. Like
A lot to do with our lives also, yes.
Right.
Dimensional change, yeah.
We were chatting earlier, and you said there have been responses even from the folks up north. I mean, as in the Hindi belt, as we say. A bunch of actors and actresses have responded. I see on Twitter, everyone's a fan. It feels like everyone loves the film. What are some of the responses that you all got?
Lots of, like Rani Mukherjee called us.
She's very effusive in her praise.
And Vidya Balan called us. There are quite a few directors and actors who've gotten in production houses who got in touch with us, and it's really nice to see a film being loved to this level after reading subtitles.
Right.
Because they're not understanding exactly the dialogues, it's subtitled.
Correct.
And they get the emotion to such a level that they'll track you down and they want to congratulate you. So that's very rare and we feel very privileged.
Right. What have been some of the most, some of the responses that you've particularly hold close?
The first one was from Bujya Garu. After she watched the movie the first time, she called me up and she said, if I ever want the warmth of my mother, I will come to you. So that's something which is very close to my heart. And later, people were, when I see a lot of people, even I think yesterday, there was somebody who came and told me, you've brought her back on screen. And a lot of people said, we can see her as, we can see you as her. And we just don't miss her anymore, kind of. So it feels like if I could
That's a
bring
huge
her
responsibility
back,
as well, yeah.
So this is something which I never expected, and this side of whatever this response, I never thought about it also.
Right.
So it's just new. It's just so new to me.
So, I'm going to open it out to you all. So give me 1 minute. I'm going to ask one more question, and then we'll open it out. If you have questions, raise your hands. I'm going to ask you, what do you think it is about the film that that sort of touches an audience or that works for an audience, even many of whom, because these kind of numbers can't just be fans of Savitri Garu. It has to be people that don't know her. It has to be people that are unfamiliar with her story. It has to be people who just went in to watch a film and came back saying, wow, this is a great film. What do you think it is about this story that, that in a sense unites people? What is it that, that seems to work for them? Even if you don't know the language, you don't know the person who's at the heart of the story.
I think when I set out, to even just as an idea, when it was at that stage, I wanted this film. I remember telling it to these guys. I don't want it to be just our film or from our production house. I wanted to be from the whole industry to Savitri Garu. So I wanted as many people to come on board, like directors or actors, and not like a traditional cameo. I just wanted them to be part of this because it's, of course, a tribute to Savitri Garu, but it's our history as well. It's the history of Telugu cinema. And so I just wanted it to be a very universal thing. And that's why actors like even Samantha and Dulquer, obviously, Vijay and Shalini, people who've had big hits behind them, they just come on to do small roles. And I think that honesty translated to the audience. And when they saw the film, they owned it. In the same way all of the actors owned it, and they started threatening, people who stand outside the theaters with cameras to ask first day review shows. So there's one where this guy's threatening this guy. If you guys say anything to this film, I'll find you.
That's lovely.
So at one point of time, one of the theater management has called us and said, after years, for one film, we're seeing the youngest of the youngest audience to come, at the same time, the oldest of the oldest who are trying very hard to come into the theaters with the help of escalators or wheelchairs and, the other stuff to come. So it's very rare that you see the youngest to the oldest. So that's something was like a massive winner according to us, because, one issue that we've always had, we were feared of was how would we bring a 30 and a younger person into the theater who wouldn't know anything about Savitri Garu.
Right.
So that is, after the film released, that we feel extremely victorious about, yeah.
And today, I think even after the 25th day, 30th day, there were a lot of people who then watched the movie. They came and told me. There was somebody an old lady who was literally, holding the wall and walking up to watch the movie. And a lot of old people there. So that's something which we knew. They'll connect, they'll connect. And a lot of teenagers, a lot of youngsters who come out of the movie and they Google Savitri Garu, So that's the comment I got from a lot of today's kids. They came to me and they were like, we really don't know. We've not watched a movie, but we came out of the theater and we Googled her. Oh my God. So, so that's I think it connected from 30s to 60s, 70s.
True.
So what more do you need?
Can you ask for? True. Do we have questions? Others, I have plenty, so.
And this question is for you, Mahanati, Keerthy Suresh Garu. So you have done great in this movie. And
thank you.
Just wanted to ask you, will it as you have done a female-oriented lead role now and you're successful, will it going to be a problem to do a normal glamorous role or actress next to hero?
Not really. I think I'm planning to balance both. It's not that I'm going to do only female-centric characters because I still have time. I think I can still romance heroes now. And if not now, then when, right?
Thank
so I should balance both.
The gentleman in the back there. Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations, team, for a huge success of Mahanati. I've tremendously enjoyed it.
Thank you.
This question is for both Swapna and Priyanka. Christopher Nolan, in an interview, said he had a really hard time convincing producers before making Memento because A, the script was pushing the boundaries in several ways, and B, the previous film was not a big success, the following, and C, he's never been to a film school. So as a producer, what are the boxes you usually tick when judging a script? Like, question.
I think it's clearly the script, definitely. I mean, I don't think, coming from both of us, I don't think it's the film school or the experience. It's clearly something which impresses that, like, it's a cinema that we want to make, something that we would love to make, we would love to see. If that's something that comes to us, then definitely it is a go for us, yeah.
Also, something that I kind of started practicing is if someone comes with an interesting script, I tell them, like, make a 2-minute video, so I can understand what your perspective is. So that helps.
Congratulations to team all, and also my name is Venkat Nukala. I'm a community leader here. The good news is I saw Savitri Garu in 1978.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm a 52-year-old, and I think in 1977 there was a big cyclone in Andhra, and NTR Garu and Nageshwara Garu and Savitri Garu, they came with collecting the money from all the districts in Andhra. Yeah. And very importantly, I spent 50 cents in that. They collected the money. I was in grade 8. So thank you for that. And also Opportunity is a wonderful movie you made. And around the world, people are very, very happy with that movie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, team, on the wonderful effort. Congratulations to the production team for the detailing. I thought that was really, really good. And of course, Keerthy, you too.
Thank
A
you.
question I have for you is for the writing team, Nagi, effectively. As an aspiring writer myself, I think one of the biggest issues I face is editing. There's so much stuff that goes in. And then how do you take the decision to leave out, two equally good things?
I think the honest answer is you don't really know for the most part. Like, I had like 2 writers helping with me on the dialogues of this film, Sai Madhav and Padma. But as far as the screenplay goes, it's something that you have to go instinctively with. And like I was saying, so we had like almost a 3.5-hour script, which we didn't shoot almost half an hour of it. And then on the edit table, you kind of understand your choices. So many things, like it matters, like some scenes which are great on paper, they don't translate for many reasons. And some scenes that you almost don't think about, you just come up on the spot, they turn out to be like game changers. So very instinctive.
Hello, congratulations for the great movie.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask the producers and the director. I'm a struggling actor myself, and I've been doing theater here and been I completed my studies, and now I think it's the time for me to pursue my passion. So do you have I've read about you that you have made short films and other movies as well. So do you have anything any auditions taking place in Melbourne or anywhere? Because I heard that there would be so many films going to be produced even in Melbourne, and so
you could just go to our websites and there's an email ID. You could definitely send your pictures and we'll definitely get back.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Can we ask him? He's been really excited.